In 1940 and 41, when the Nazi spite was unleashed upon us here at home, we replied with the slogan, "Britain can take it." Now, with peace back again, and with the tremendous need to regain our lost position in the industrial world, we've got a new slogan. And at the great exhibition bearing this name, the triumph of British quality and design was on show. His Majesty the King, who is the patron of the National Savings Movement, carried out the opening ceremony.
I believe that our own people, after the long years of strain and denial, will draw encouragement from the sight of the things here, which from now on will become available to them in increasing numbers. I now have much pleasure in declaring the exhibition open, and I wish it every success.
The changeover from war to peace is bound to be a slow one, but already the change is apparent. Once upon a time, you gave your saucepans for Spitfires. Now the experience gained in aircraft production gives you better and more durable saucepans. The old bomber turret has become the neatest of plastic shoes, and the latest thing in radio sets. But to the ordinary people of Britain, the exhibition was a first glimpse of some of the things they'd saved and hoped for during the war years. They flocked to the exhibition to plan and to build new homes in a new world. Just such a couple were Mr. and Mrs. Britain. Well, let's call them John and Joan, it makes it easier. Both of them had served in the forces, and like several million others, they were having a day out to scheme for the future. They were there to feast their eyes on the things the people of Britain have almost forgotten even existed in the shortages of the austerity period. That household linen that Joan needs so badly, how she longed for what she used to call pre-war quality. But this is even better, it's post-war quality, setting a high standard of workmanship and design. Oh yes, the goods were there, all right. Not all available now, it's true, but with the promised day not too far distant at last. John and Joan saw some novelties too. The lighter side of life, the bicycle of the future, built-in motor and all. You can almost see John thinking about that long drag uphill to the local. And the air-conditioned bed. Joan's turn to do the thinking now. What? No bed making in the morning? Very nice, but only a passing interlude. There was so much they wanted. Necessities with the luxury feeling. Things to delight the hearts of both sexes. Pots and pans, nice to look at and even nicer to cook with, worthy of the finest pre-war food. And the other things that are rather more difficult to romance about, still, for those who like brushing up their floor work, so to speak, very attractive indeed. But while Joan was swept away by these super sweepers, John starts dreaming of going out on the razzle. All the knickknacks, too. This is really tops. But of course there is a more laborious side to married life. Gardening, for example. All the latest gadgets for Saturday afternoon. This practically makes mowing a pleasure, I should think. Just imagine it, an autumn day, the nip in the air, the click of the spade, and in the evening a cosy fire and that even cosier third program. Oh dear, John might have guessed it, there's a fashion section. With a little direction finding and evasive tactics, both gained in the RAF, I think, John staves off the evil hour a bit and wangles her into the toy section where there is delight for the children of all ages. Here they drift apart for a moment. Joan is obviously thinking ahead, and, well, after all, why not? John, just like a man, I must admit, has other things on his mind. Oh, no, you don't. You got me here by false pretenses, playing trains at your age. I've just seen a wonderful hat. That's that. After all, marriage is a 50-50 business. You know how it is. Half the time Joan says what she wants. The other half John says he wants just what he knows she wants him to want. But at the moment, all's well. They're reunited and looking at the furnished rooms. This is really interesting. Design on a practical scale. And perhaps we can forgive them if they indulge in a daydream or two. Reality, however, is a tough business, but with the war over, reality and daydreams are drawing a bit closer together. Anyway, it's a good job he didn't know what she was thinking, or she him for that matter. So, with the afternoon well spent, John and Joan think perhaps it's time to go home and sort out their impressions and get down to some real planning. They're both agreed on one point anyway. Britain can make it all right.
Well, we were certainly wise to put that bit by in national savings. It'll come in pretty useful. And judging by the things you seem to want, we shall have to add a few more quid to it. Anyhow, most of that stuff's only available sooner or later. But I know one thing that's available right now.